Welcome to another section of optical communication networks, Unit 3. Unit 3 is optical fiber techniques 1 and 2. Techniques 1 and techniques 2. That is how the optical signal transmitted from one end to another end. What are the design concepts we discussed in Unit 3. Here in this optical fiber techniques 1, we discuss about what is meant by modulation and what is meant demodulation, what are the signal formats, and what are the different types of receivers available, that is direct detection receiver and coherent detection. And optical fiber techniques 2, what is meant optical switching, what is meant polarization control, and what is meant by inter-office transmission system and trunking system, and their performance and their architecture, and how to design undersea cable system, and what is meant by optical fiber loop distribution system and photonic local networks. Right, here nothing but in this Unit 3, optical fiber techniques 1 and optical fiber techniques 2, we discuss about the basics of optical communication system, how it can transmit a signal from transmitting end to receiving end, how modulation takes place at the transmission side, how demodulation takes place in the receiving side, what are the signal formats are available to transmit optical signal through optical fiber cable. Suppose we are taking the best examples of telecommunication systems, how to design that telecommunication system. We discussed in Unit 3. Now let's move to the first topic of Unit 3 is optical fiber techniques 1 under this modulation. Under this, the first topic is what is meant by modulation. You know the general definition of modulation, right? At the time of going for modulation, how many signals are needed? We needed two signals. One is message signal, another is carrier signal. One is message signal, another is carrier signal. What is the difference between message signal and carrier signal? The message signal is nothing but what is the original information to be transmitted. What is not a carrier signal? The carrier signal is nothing but which carries the original message signal for a long distance. Just compare message signal and carrier signal frequency. Which one is high? Automatically, the carrier signal frequency is high. By automatically we have to carry the message signal for long distance. That's why the must and should automatically the frequency should be high. Now we're going for what is the modulation technique which we are used in optical communication system. The most commonly used optical communication system modulation technique is on-off keying. On-off keying, that is OOK. On-off keying. What is meant on-off keying? What is meant on? What is meant off? That is the light source, either LED or laser, should be on and off condition. When it is on, whenever input binary data is 1, it is on. Whenever input data is 0, binary data is 0, automatically the light source should be off. That's why the modulation technique is called as a on-off keying. On-off keying. Here see the representation of the signal. We are taking the binary data 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. Here this kind of representation in two formats. One is non-return to 0 and return to 0. Here what is the difference between non-return to 0 format and what is meant by return to 0 format? See this one, whenever the binary data should be 1. In non-return 0 format, the total time period should be occupied. The total time period should be occupied. Whenever the binary data is 0, then in non-return to 0 format, there is no signal is present for the total period of time. But going for return to 0 format, whenever the binary data is 1, it is not occupied full time period. It occupied only half of the time period only. Whenever 0, it is off condition. There is no signal is present in the 0 condition. That is the difference between non-return to 0 format and return to 0 format. Right, that is what is meant to now what is on-off key. Whenever input binary data is 1, the light source should be on, turn on. Whenever the bit is 0 is automatically the light pulse should be off condition. That's why it is called the on-off keying. Next we are going for signal formats. Signal formats. Here what is the major signal formats are available? Whenever we are taking OOK modulation, that is on-off keying modulation technique, There are two types of signal formats are available. The first one is non-return to zero format. The second one is return to zero format. Here the non-return to zero format. Non-return to zero format. The pulse for 1 bit. The pulse for 1 bit. That is whenever input band is 1 bit. Occupies the entire bit interval. Which occupies entire bit interval. And there is no pulse used for 0th bit. Suppose if there are two successive ones are coming, then the pulse occupies two successive bits. Three successive ones coming, three successive bit intervals occupies. That's why you see this one. Whenever it is successive two ones coming, that is the total 2 bit periods are occupied continuously. That is about non-return to zero format. Here, what is better return to zero format? The pulse for a 1 bit occupies only a fraction of the bit interval. Only a fraction of bit interval, and there is no pulse is used for 0th bit. See this one. Whenever one is only fraction of the bit interval it occupies. The remaining is nothing will occupy. Whenever 0, there is no pulse. That is the difference between non-return to zero format and return to zero format. Here, in optical communication, the term return to zero is used. The term return to zero is used in a broader sense, describes the use of pulses of duration shorter than the bit period. Right? Only fraction of bit interval it occupies, not for total interval. Here, what is the advantage and disadvantage of these signal formats? That is non-return to zero and return to zero formats. Here, the major advantage of non-return to zero format. Nothing but it occupies full time interval. It occupies full time interval. Nothing but we require only small bandwidth, right? That is automatically the time period is which is inversely proportional to frequency. That's why whenever time is occupies more, frequency should be less. Whenever frequency should be less, I think bandwidth required also less. That is the major advantage of non-return to zero. Here, suppose what is the drawback of this non-return to zero format? Suppose whenever the input is 0, binary bit is 0, then automatically the signal is absent. Suppose continuously 10 zeros are giving, then automatically the light should be off for 10 bit intervals. At that time, it is make difficult to receive the signal at the receiving side. This is the drawback of non-return to zero. Here in return to zero format requires high transmit power. Require high transmit power. And we have to maintain bit error rate in between 10 power minus to 10 power minus 12 bit error rate. What is a bit error rate? How to calculate bit error rate? We have to transmit a signal in a binary digit. Suppose we are giving 4 bits input 1011. We have to receive the signal is 1101. We have transmit 1011. We are received 1101. Just compare input transmitting section, receiving section data. Just 2 bits are interchanged. At that we have to calculate the bit error rate. The formula is the denominator. How many bits are transmitted? 4 bits are transmitted. How many bits are errored? 2 bits. That is 2 by 4 is the error. That is the calculation of bit error rate. Here, what is the problems occurs in both return to zero and non-return to zero formats? DC balance. What is meant DC balance? What is meant DC signal? That is constant voltage we are getting. This is a problem in the both return to zero and non-return to zero. That is At what point it starts DC voltage, at what point ends DC voltage. That is a problem. Here, where exactly used this non-return to zero format? Here, the non-return to zero format is used in most of the high-speed communication system. Most are used in high-speed communication system with a speed of 155 Mbps to 10 Gbps. 155 Mbps to 10 Gbps. Here what is meant by high-speed communications? Here, high-speed communication nothing but PC modems. That is personal computer modems. Right? You are suppose that you are in your home having a desktop. Suppose you have to connect to the internet connection, or that you have to use modems. Modem nothing but modulator or demodulator. And high-speed telecommunication links presently we are using through optical fiber cables, and high-speed computer data links. That is connection between LAN connection, whatever it may be. We are now we are using optical fiber cables. These are just some of the examples which are used in non-return to zero format. And similarly, return to zero format is used for high bitrate communication systems. High bitrate communication systems. Next, we are going for demodulation. Demodulation. You know the concept of modulation, that is on-off keying, then transmits through optical fiber cable. Once you have to receive the signal, how demodulation takes place in optical communication. Here, see this one. Once the signal is transmitted through optical fiber cable, at the receiving end, first of all, we are getting the major noises are attenuation. What is meant attenuation? What is attenuation? Loss of a signal. Suppose I am giving one system. I am giving input is 10 volt peak to peak. We are getting output is 8 volt peak to peak. How much we are getting attenuation? 2 volts we are getting attenuation. That is compared with input and output. That is the signal is loss in the system. It's called the attenuation. And second one is dispersion. Here what is the dispersion? Dispersion is nothing but merging of the pulses. Merging of the pulses due to time delays. Due to time merging of the pulses, then automatically the signal is distorted. And other noises are amplifier noises. Amplifier noises. That is, we are using repeaters in between transmitter and receiver, right? At that time, we are getting some amplifier noise. That is, the major noises are in the received signal is attenuation, dispersion, and optical amplifier noises. Once the signal is received, at the time we have to calculate bit error rate. Bit error rate. In high-speed optical communications systems, the range of the bit error rate in between 10 power minus to 10 power minus 15. Must and should we have to maintain this range only 10 power minus 9 to 10 power minus 15. Other than this, automatically the received signal is total errored signal. Total errored signal. Yes, see this one. This is the exact block diagram of the receiving section with demodulation. The first stage is photodetector stage. The second stage is front-end amplifier. The third stage is receive filter. Next sampler, right? Before going to sampling, here the receiving is we have to check whether the clock and timing recovery. Last one is decision circuit. Decision circuit. Here how it works. First stage is photo detector. Before this photo detector is optical fibers. In optical fibers, we have to receive the optical signal, then given to photo detector stage. In this photo detector stage, which converts from optical to electrical signal first. That is, the output of this photo detector is electrical signal. Next, the electrical signal given to front end amplifier. Front end amplifier. Here, what is the front end amplifier? Nothing but is there any signal strength is low at the output of the photodetector? We have to increase the strength of the signal. That's why we're using front end amplifier. Front end amplifier. Once the signal is amplified, then given to receive filters. This is the filters. First, what is the use of filter? Filter circuit is used to remove the noises. Nothing but here before going to receiving filter, we are using front end amplifier. In this front-end amplifier, remove the attenuation first. Remove the attenuation, that is signal strength is less due to attenuation. Increase the signal strength by using this front-end amplifier. Next, we are giving to this receiving filter. In this receiving filter, we have to remove the dispersion problems. Dispersion problems and optical amplifier noises we have to remove by using filters. Next, the same signal we have to check and clock and timing recovery. Clock and timing recovery. Why we have to check this clock and timing recovery? Nothing but at the time of transmission side, we have to fix one bit period which is equal to 1 millisecond. Suppose one bit period is 1 millisecond. Here, what is meant a bit period 1 millisecond? Nothing but suppose we have a representation of 1. That is the bit period representation, total representation only within 1 millisecond. 0 also 1 millisecond. Next, continuation. For each bit, we have to draw a graph or generate a signal 1 millisecond only, but bit period. Suppose at the receiving end, we are getting dispersion problems due to dispersion merging of the pulses. Zeros and ones are mixed together. And instead of 1 millisecond, some are getting 2 millisecond bit period also. Some are getting 0.5 milliseconds also. Right, at that time, we have to check whether the bit periods are equal or not for all bits. Check and clear the problems. Once we clear the problem, finally we are getting the signal, electrical signal. But what is the data transmitted in terms of zeros and ones? But we have to receive the signal in the electrical signal in terms of analog form. Analog form. That's why we go for sampler circuit. Here, what are the stages of sampling? Sampling is nothing but based upon the sampling period, we have to divide the signal into number of slots. Once we are getting, we'll go for apply the quantization technique. Quantization. After in that quantization, we have to fix the threshold value. Above the threshold value, which should be 1, and below the threshold value, which is equal to 0. It is done by decision circuit. Decision circuit. This is about demodulation, right? Right. Here, after this, right, after this one, after we are getting the receiver filters, here what are the how the signals are checked by using sample and decision circuit. Show this figure. After the filter circuit, before going to sampling, this is a signal. This is a signal, analog signal, electrical signal generated. Now apply sampling theorem. This is about bit boundaries. We have to check and apply sampling period and divide into number of slots. Each slot is called the bit boundaries. Bit boundaries. First, we have to check this bit. What is the voltage? Whether this voltage is above the threshold voltage or below the threshold. Whenever it is below the threshold voltage, should be representation of 0 by using decision circuit. This is above the threshold voltage, it should be 1. Below threshold voltage, it is 0. This is above the threshold voltage, 1, 1. This is below the threshold voltage, 0. 0. Right. Now, take each bit. Take each bit. So first, we have to cut this bit and fix one here. Next bit cut and fix here. Next this bit like this. We are getting finally all bits should be cut in pieces. That is, if the waveform is cut along the bit boundaries, we have to cut the waveform along the bit boundaries, and the resulting pieces are superimposed on each other. We get a resulting diagram shown in figure. Let's take eye diagram. Below threshold like this, we are getting this pulse, and this pulse we are getting here down, and this one shows this our. In this center, we have to draw this. This is our vertical opening of the eye. This is a horizontal opening of the eye. Right. Here, what is meant by vertical opening of the eye? And what is meant by horizontal opening of the eye? Here, this is vertical opening of the eye shows is there any bit is error or not calculation. Simple calculation for bit is error or not by using vertical opening of the eye. Similarly, for horizontal opening of the eye, which is indicates, is there any timing recovery problems? Timing recovery problem. Suppose how much we are taking each bit period? 1 millisecond. It is greater than 1 millisecond. It is timing recovery problem. Timing recovery problem. That's why using simple the eye diagram, which shows how to calculate bit errors and timing recovery problems. Right. Till now, today's class we discuss about the topic is optical fiber techniques 1, and else we discuss about modulation technique. What is the modulation technique which is used? OK modulation technique, that is on-off keying. On-off keying. Here, based upon this on-off keying, how to represent return to zero format and non-return to zero format. Here, what is meant non-return to zero format? Here, the non-return to zero format is nothing but it occupies the total bit period. What is return to zero format? It occupies only some fraction of the bit period only. That is we discussed in signal formats. That is in OOK technique, we are using two signal formats, non-return to zero format and return to zero format. And how, what are the differences between return to zero format and non-return to zero format we discussed today's class. And the final video discussed is demodulation technique. How demodulation takes place and what are the different type of noises are generated in the optical communication media. That is we discussed attenuation, dispersion and optical amplifier noise. Once we are receiving the optical signal which converts from optical to electrical by using photodetector stage and increase the strength of the signal by using front-end amplifier and remove the noises by using receiver filters and check the clock recovery, how much bit period by using clock recovery circuit, and finally go for again converts from analog to digital by using sampler, and by finally we are getting based on the quantization and apply the threshold value, whether it is above the threshold value or below threshold value by the digital circuit. Finally, we are getting original data which we are transmitted at the input side. This is about modulation, demodulation, signal formats. Do you have any query? Type your query at chat box. Thank you very much for attending today's class.